Gamble today, folks. Can't do that. This is not a casino. There's no room for error. Now here's the thing. I was on a hot streak. It's bound to have one of these days eventually, and it's going to happen to you too. If you can't handle the down days, then I would say quit now, because you're going to have them. Nobody's a perfect trader. You're not always going to win. All you can do is limit your losses. So, today I picked some bad stocks. It happens. What was my mistakes today? I'll tell you right now, and I know them. I overtraded. And what that is basically when the opportunity isn't there, don't force it. Don't rush anything. Don't force anything. And that goes for anything in life. When you tend to push a little bit too much and you realize, wow, this is a little bit intense, like this feels wrong, just don't do it. That's when you sit on your hands. When you're up in a game, that's when you make moves. When there's nothing available to trade, just let your cash sit. Wait for an opportunity to present itself, because they will. But if you overtrade just to have some action on the day, you're going to get bit 90% of the time. And that's what happened to me today. Where did I go wrong? I bought into Babbel. That was one of my calls yesterday. I said 3.5 because it seemed to be steady there. But my mistake was, I didn't look into the upcoming catalysts. I was basing it strictly on the chart. Now I say, don't do a lot of DD, and I mean that. But what I mean by that is only do enough DD to actually know what's in the pipeline, to know, is there going to be a rumor? Is that rumor coming up? Is there a long extension that people are going to have to wait? Because the extension is what's going to cause the price to drop. I didn't look into Babbel, and of course, their launch date for this NFT bullshit, which doesn't make any sense and isn't real, it is a scam, just like I always say. Doesn't matter though. The catalyst is going to be on December 1st. I didn't know that until I had already bought. So, don't do that. Don't buy and then do the little bit of DD that you need to do. Cover all your bases, find the green flags, find the red flags, and then buy. So that was my mistake on Babbel. Now I know that the extension is to December 1st. I'm not saying it's going to tank super hard. I might even have gotten it at a good spot, but right now it's down, and I'm not in love with it. Could news come out tomorrow to change everything? Sure. But, I just don't see it happening, and I made the mistake, and whatever, I'll learn from it, and I'll do the DD next time. The other mistake was in Sint, S-I-N-T. I had no idea what that stock was. All I saw was this chart was fucking getting pummeled. It was down big time, and I saw it starting to turn up on news, but I didn't look into the stock. I only looked at the chart for the second time, and I had no idea what this company was. I didn't know that there was an offering on the books. 5 minutes of reading the boards and doing 5 minutes of DD would have showed me that, and I would have stayed away. And even when I saw it trading, I saw it was trading so weird. The ask would go up, and then someone would undercut the ask drastically, and it was always 100 shares. What does that tell us? Dilution. It's not always going to be a form of a 10K ask. If it's a larger, higher stock, this one's trading at $10, $12, $11, 10 cents, 11 cents, it might be 100 shares. But once I saw that 100 shares coming down and undercutting the ask, I knew, fuck, man, I made a mistake. And because I can't day trade, now I have to fucking sit in this stock the whole day while it's tanking. Sick! Yeah! Good call, Pete! Fuck yeah, you're the shit! But again, you get your emotions out, you get your anger out in other forms. Don't do it while trading. Don't be emotional. Don't act like this. I'm just doing this for theatrics, but at the same time, red day is a red day. We're going to turn it around. It happens. We got this. I won't make those same mistakes again, or at least I hope not to, because I have to remember when I'm up big money, I need to protect that capital at all costs, and I cannot overtrade. So let that be the lesson today. If there's nothing there, then don't fucking push it. Period. Geggy. This was one that I had called yesterday. And by the way, stay tuned to the end of the video because I have an interview with a pro trader who's been doing it for years. He's owned his own firm. He's got a lot of good information for you guys, just a lot of good advice. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video so you can get some knowledge on that. But basically, Geggy, what happened there was the merger that was supposed to come through, that dangled carrot, should have been for an established company. So most of the time when they do mergers, the merging company already has revenues, maybe not great revenues, but at least they have like a following, or they're a built company. Now what happened here is the CEO, or the person in charge of the shell. What he did was he merged in a company, for like his own company that he's just starting. So people aren't going to fucking like that. I mean, and this is the OTC. You never know what's going to happen. That's why if I would have bought at 6.3 the other day, I would have been out at 7.88 because that's a big enough gain. I don't need to pray and hold overnight and hope to God that the next day is going to be another green one. What happened? It opened up at 6. So if I would have bought 6.3 and I would have held on to it overnight, I would have woke up in the red without a chance to even sell for a gain. So that's how quickly it can happen. You might not even have the opportunity to get out. So if you have the gain, you must take it at all costs. You know, if you want to play the gamble, if you hit red 3 times and you want to go for a fourth red, so be it. But it's going to bite you sometimes, and that's what happened in Geggy. There's no way to foresee that. There's no million hours of DD that is going to get you to predict that. Unless you know the CEO and you're an insider and you have insider information, you're shit out of luck. You're going to get beat. So let me pull this up so you guys can see the chart. All right, so yeah, again, you know, these things are unavoidable. If you're in this stock, listen, I mean, it's not like you made a terrible choice for holding overnight. It had a lot of appeal. Wow, where did it close today? Fucking 3-4. God damn, 57%, fellas. 57 fucking percent. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If I would have held that over, if I had bought and had held that gain, probably 30, 40% overnight, and I had held it through today, hoping for a bounce, which is what a lot of people do, I'd be down 50%. Now what do I need? If you're down 50%, what do you need to get back to average? 100%. So, you know, don't play these fucking games, man. Don't gamble. Don't gamble because it's going to burn you. It's not going to be fun. So Geggy, let's pull up the chart. I mean, it's just shot. I mean, look at this. Look, it had all, and I said this on the video yesterday. I said it could be a false breakout, so be careful. And what happened? Boom. Tank City, down 60%. I don't know what to tell you from here. It could come back down to high 2s before a bounce. I don't know. It might just keep going. It might just keep going. I don't know, because now the CEO has kind of ruined investor confidence. So you're pretty much fucked. I hate to say it, but again, only truth. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. If you want that, you go to every other pumper's fucking page, which is every other YouTuber out there that's just going to hop on the fucking runners, going to pump you into them and act like they're always winning, and they're never going to show the downside. They're never going to tell you when they lost money. I've never seen it. Nobody does it because everyone's a fucking liar on Wall Street. Even the fucking gurus, they're all lying. They're either bought and paid for, or they're down and they're going to tell you they're up. It's always the same story. So Geggy, sorry guys, we got to just see what happens in the future with that one. Babbel. Now, this is the stock that I made a mistake on today. Not a great call. Not a great call. You know, when I teach you guys about these things, I'm trying to teach you how to trade them. I'm not trying to tell you what to buy and sell. I don't want to buy a stock and then tell everybody, oh, this is the next big thing, let's run it up, just to get my shares off. Again, that's what a lot of people do. I'm not here for that. I'm just trying, so don't take my picks as guarantees. You know, I'm not a perfect trader. Just take what I'm teaching you and apply it to your own trading. Babbel came back down to this middle line. Now, will it hold here? I'm not sure. It seems like it should, because you have these three where it seemed to form a resistance line up near 237, 244, which is exactly kind of where it closed today. And that also corresponds with this middle orange band. So you might be in luck if you bought at the end of the day and you're sitting at that orange line, or because of the extension to December 1st, barring any news, it is a thin stock. So I'm very worried about this. I'm not down huge. I'm only down like 3 ticks. But at the same time, you know, I made the wrong choice. I didn't look into it. But it is at the orange line. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not in love with it. I think that it might turn down. I think it might keep tanking. And remember, I'm in this stock. So, you know, I could sit here and be like, oh, it's on the orange line, it's going to bounce up back tomorrow. I don't know. And I'm not feeling great about it, to be honest. I'm not feeling great. It's super thin. I only got 50,000 shares, so it's not the end of the world. But, you know, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve right now, and I'm trying to show you guys that you're not always going to be a winner. Moan. Had a friend trade this today. He actually did the correct thing, even though it ended up being the wrong decision in the end. He, I guess, was up $250. In the morning, it tanked back down to his average, and he sold at his average, which was smart. You don't want to allow yourself to go into the red at all costs, because what happened to him was he sold at his break even, and then it popped off of that. And now it's up, and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. It could tank tomorrow, and maybe he did make the right decision, but that's going to happen. There's going to be times where you sell and the stock keeps running. There's going to be times where the stock is dropping and you sell at your break even to avoid loss, and then it pops off of that. You know, but you can't, only thing you can do is protect your capital and try and make gains where you can, because this thing is overbought. I mean, it's, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see this come back down to mid 30s. In the short term. Could it keep running? Of course. I don't know. But they might start diluting tomorrow, and it could come right back down to fill this gap at like 3.6, 3.7, and then oversell into this orange band. So if you're in Moan and you're at a gain, a significant gain, you must at all costs take it. Because, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that's what I would do. That's what I would do, okay? And, you know, I'm just going to tell you guys what I would do, and it could be wrong, it could be right. But if you're at a significant gain, you must take it, because the chart is exhausted. You got a gap down low. You have the middle band. You're pushing the up Bollinger, which it just, everything says overbought to me right now. Is there going to be some wild news like they sold 1 billion cars? I don't know. These are things that we can't account for, like in Geggy. Next one. Moan. Fuck. Ah, shit. I'm off today. You know, it sucks to have a red day, guys. It sucks. It's not fun, but that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. So I said, look at how it respects this line, guys. Now, it did close green today. This is IMP, IMPP, came back down to the orange band, which it seems to really respect. And now it's going to try, let's see if it tries to push above. If it starts to press into the 50s and holds up there, I'll buy 50 for a run to up, you know, 50% to maybe 75. Whatever I decide to do, I'll have to track that. But it could, if it breaks out at 46 and again gets into the 50s, I will buy 50 if it's at the end of the day and hope for a 75 push, because this looks like it's just ready to go. And oil prices are going to go up soon. Brent crude oil is probably going to go up pretty hard, maybe even to 100 plus a barrel. So pay attention to oil stocks, and IMP is a great one. IMP is one that's been beaten down by dilution. It seems like they're stopping, and it's going to start to go, in my opinion. Boxes, here's another thrasher today. The whole market today was kind of bullshit. That's why I couldn't really find anything, and I forced it. But boxes, not good. Now, it came, I don't know what the volume was down here, but it fell all the way to 0.0011. Again, I don't know. Let me look at this because that seems pretty insane. I don't know that it actually touched that or people were able to get shares there. Sometimes you can have a fat finger trade where it's just like shows it on the chart, but it's not really, it didn't really happen. Yeah, I mean, it touched that, but then it really traded a lot at 5. So if you got any significant shares, you got in at 5. Now it's at 7. It was a good pickup. The reason for it was the CEO or somebody, one of the advisors came out and said that there was a potential reverse split. Now, what did we talk about yesterday? These reverse splits can take you from 2 cents to a tap of 0.0011 at the beginning of the day. What if you bought at 217? Oh, shit. RS gotcha. That is the kiss of fucking death, especially if it comes out after hours or pre-market. You fuck. Now, what do I think happened? I think this advisor, whoever it was, actually is a bullshitter. He didn't actually file for a reverse split. He just mentioned it. Why? Because he probably has family and insiders and friends that are going to want to buy down at 5, knowing that there's no such thing as a reverse split coming, and he's probably going to send it back up now. So this is one to watch. Pay attention to it. If it does have a little bit more of a sell-off in the morning, I think this is an overreaction. So when you have these overreactions, they present good opportunities. If I had seen this during the day, I would have loved to soak some up. But, I didn't see it, whatever. I see it now. Let's see what happens tomorrow. You give me some more red in this, I think it is an overreaction. I'm going to buy. DVLP. This was one I saw in the morning and just didn't do it. And, it had all the makings of a good stock. It's just that I don't know why I didn't. Sometimes you don't know why you make mistakes. But, you're seeing this. It seems to want to come back down to this support, which was previous resistance here. See how it came up, broke through, came back down to this line, basically. Popped back off that, came back down, basically to this line again. Now, what I'm talking about is this here. This was the initial pump. This was the initial pop. Then it created a handle. Then it ran. Then it came back down. Okay, so when it came back down here, what did it do again? This is like a double bottom. So you see the double bottom. You buy it. You run up. Bing, bang, bop, bop, come back down real harshly. And then this candle right here in the green with good volume. MACD is turning back up. RSI is turning back up, trying to cross the slow with the fast. And now you're over this middle band. It's probably going to go higher. I would say it's going to try and flag. I think it's going to try and come up to, I would say, if you're in at, 7 something, you're going to want to get out at 1 something. Low ones. Don't overdo it. If you're in at 7 and you're out at 1, that's a huge gain, people. That's 40%. Hedge funds try and make 7% on the entire year, and it's a fucking blessing from God. So, if you're getting 40% day in and day out and you're not selling, you're making a mistake. SINT. And I like DVLP here. I wouldn't maybe buy it tomorrow because I think it's just going to be buying the top a little bit. I think it still has room to run, but I'm just uninterested. But if you're in it, good call, great job. Just make sure to scale gains. Even if it's you hold a core and you sell a flip side, like if you have 100,000 shares, you sell 50 when you think it's up at the top, and then you hold 50 just in case. And if it comes back down and you really like the stock, then you rebuy with the 50 you sold, and now you're up to 130. So, that's one way of doing it. That's not necessarily my strategy. I tend to like to just get in and get out with everything and just stay at that level in my account. Next one, SINT. This is another one that I made a mistake on today. It sucks, but, I'm an asshole. I'm an idiot. But look at what I saw. I mean, I can't really get too down on myself. And this actually, it might have got slammed today. But shit, if it closes this gap on the daily down near 10 tomorrow, I might double down. Now, that's going against because, I always say sell 10%, but I'm only down about 10% in it. And it doesn't have much more room to fall. I'll have to watch it tomorrow, but this could be a runner up to 18 cents in the next couple of days. I think that look at this tankage, guys. Look at this. I mean, it's down heavy. You got this green candle yesterday that said, oh, let's reverse. I mean, it tried it here, false. down. Now you had it here, and today they released news, and boom. But look at all this red volume. But it's ugly, but at the same time, it's looking like it's trying to form a cup. And if it gets me to 18, and I double down to 10, and I average down to, let's say, 10.3 or whatever, and it runs to 18 or even close to it, we're talking about over 50%, 60, 70, 80%. So I'll have to see how it trades tomorrow. I have to look more. Now, this is where tonight I'll look a little bit more into it. I'll see how much this offering's for, at what price, and I'll read through the boards and see what people are saying and garnish my own opinion on it. Instead of just taking everybody's word for it, I will look into it myself, and then I'll go get a secondhand advice from the boards. But as far as your MACD, I mean, it looks fucking sexual. Your RSI is so oversold, it looks fucking sexual. So if these guys just give it a fucking break, turn off the goddamn spigot for one fucking day so I can make some goddamn money. XCPL. This is getting weak at the top. This is getting weak at the top. Again, if you guys are in this and I say something that you don't comment it on the page. I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to pick stocks on my list that I'm trying to warn people. I'm not just here to pump you. I'm not just here to fucking tell you fucking everything's a fucking rainbow and a candy corn. Okay? There is going to be stocks that I pick that you watch and you're going to be like, fuck, I'm in that one. No. And you're going to get all defensive and you're going to have pride. Like, no, I had to make the right choice. And maybe you did. Okay? And maybe you did. But if I'm telling you it's weak at the top, chances are it's weak at the top. XCPL, and I'll show you why. I'm not just talking out of my goddamn ass here. Overbought as fuck. You had a 3 green soldier. That's why I sold A. And I basically sold the top again. So you got to soak those in, soak the winners in that you make, and the losers, you just got to have a short-ass memory. But this is why. You're overbought as fuck on the MACD. You're overbought as fuck on the RSI, and it's starting to turn down. You get a red candle at the end of a huge run. I will be watching this for a pullback to mid-3s. Now, that might seem drastic from where we're at now. And again, this could have been a day of consolidation. They could release news tomorrow that keeps the price going. I don't know. But if I was in this stock, I would have sold. And what did I do? I sold the top. So, maybe I got this one pretty good. And it's coming back down to mid-3.5, in my opinion. So don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to tell the truth as I fucking see it. So, take it for what it is. Do whatever you want. But I'm seeing weakness at the top. SHMP, this was another one that I was watching yesterday, and I thought, I really do want this, but it did the same thing to me as Geggy. It just seemed like it didn't have it, and then at the end of the day, it gave a push. Again, it's a long trading day. Sometimes sit on your hands if it's at the end of the day, great. If you didn't do anything all day, whatever, you didn't lose any money. Natural shrimp. Again, this thing went on a fucking mega run back in the day, pennies to dollars. And obviously got diluted back down to hell. Oh, shit. Should have bought this motherfucker. God damn it. I mean, again, this could be a false breakout just like Geggy, though. They could come out tomorrow and be like, oh, our shrimp died. Fuck. I don't know what's going to happen. But I can tell you that it did break over this resistance line, which seemed to be a little bit of a support in the previously. So, it is a breakout. But it's kind of up a lot. I don't know. You got to make your own decision here, but I would have bought it. I was watching it at 17.9. I should have bought it 17.9. I didn't. And oh well. I think it does have the potential to run tomorrow. You are turning green on the MACD. You are a little bit overbought on the RSI, and your volume did die down a little bit today. So does that... that might not be a bad thing. That might just show low volume consolidation, and it's still pushing, the highs. And there is no dilution, because if there was, you probably would have tanked today. So it seemed, and I saw the way it was trading, it seems free of dilution. So it's got a lot of green flags. At this point, the only red flag I see is the RSI. I would give it a buy. I don't see anything wrong with it other than the fact that your RSI is a little bit hot. SYSX. This was one I had to get out of today. I'm sorry, guys. Again, my plan was to average down a little bit because I only took a small starter at 14, and it was a double dip. I had already. This is another mistake that you can make. If you make a big gain on a stock, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't double dip. Don't think that you're going to just keep killing that stock. Sometimes you give it some time. Give it some time to settle after a large run like 90%. I knew that warrants were on the books. The warrants are exercisable at 0.0013. And what happens every time it gets to 0.0013 or in that area and it looks like it's going to run, boom, 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 bash, bash, bash. That's the company exercising those warrants. That is whoever owns those warrants exercising them, period. And that's why you're getting those serious dumps. That's not somebody that bought lower because the price is so low. It's almost at its 52-week low. So it's not retail. It is the company. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. All right, fuck these guys. If you want to keep fucking diluting you're not going to have my support. And I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell everybody, don't support them either. I'm not saying to sell. I'm not saying to buy. But it's too much dilution. I don't like it. Fuck them. I hate dilution. Anybody that dilutes is a piece of shit, but they all do it. So they're all fucking scams. They're all pieces of shit. Hopefully you guys made money today. Hopefully you made more than I did. I mean, I'm only down like $400 and I'm up 200% on my portfolio in a month. So I can't really knock myself too hard. But these are the days you just got to press through. Just got to press through. Keep moving. Keep learning. Keep striving. And we got tits for you tomorrow. Stay tuned. Back to Peter Penny. I'm here with a friend of mine who wishes to keep his identity disclosed for obvious reasons because the censorship in this country is out of control. It's unbelievable, and we're just going to keep it at that. So, my friend, how did you get your start in the market?
When I originally started in college, I decided that I liked finance. I kind of grew up as a kid. I was interested in markets and kind of what made them tick. And basically, when I was going through college, I was going through kind of the tech bubble.
Okay.
Right? So I started college in 1997 and graduated in 2001. So I saw the rise of a lot of stocks and really started getting interested in it. Took a lot of finance courses, and then I got an internship my last year, my senior year, to become like a financial analyst as an intern for a guy who was a reasonable sized money manager. Right?
Okay.
And so I started learning from him basically how to interact with markets, look at the markets, dissect stocks, what makes one stock better than another, why, how, and what we would do is we would look at, like a scorecard. I'd go through and I'd look and see, on a fundamental basis, what's the company look like, and we had all these different like factors, right? And then what on a technical basis does this stock look like? And the fundamentals told you what to buy. The technicals told you when to buy it.
Correct.
And so that was basically how I cut my teeth into the marketplace. I started trading stocks basically right when I was out of school, 2001, while I was doing another job as a financial analyst for a company. And all that really meant was I was a glorified accountant that understood how to look at, read books, consolidate financials for the company that I was working for. And that kind of, both of those things, married together, it was really helpful in terms of what allowed me to kind of look at companies with a shrewd eye, if you will. Right?
Okay.
And about 3 years later, I got an opportunity to move out to Chicago to become a professional trader for a company. And what they called it was, proprietary trading firm, right? And in Chicago, it's a major hub for commodity trading. And so I went out, took the opportunity, went out, was making absolutely nothing, like $400 a week, which.
And this was at what age?
This would have been when I was like 24, 25. Yeah, 24. Moved out there, was out there with a friend of mine who actually got me the job, and just kind of really self-immersed myself into the marketplaces. We traded this product that's actually was one of the most liquid products on the exchange that we traded, the commodity exchange. It's called Eurodollars, but it's not the currency, it's the bond derivative.
Okay.
Anyways, learned how to do that, how to trade it, and over the course of 3, 4, 5 months that I was there, I actually ended up getting a contract extended to me to learn or to basically trade for the company.
Right.
And what that meant was every day that I come into work, my balance was 0. Okay. And what I learned is, as a trader, it's not about how you do on a day. It's not about how you do on a week. It's not about how you do on a month. It's how you do over the course of the year. And all of those 4 things that I just mentioned, day, week, month, year, will lead into your year. But what you learn as you're doing this job is that if you break it down based off of what your yearly goal is, right? And if you said, oh yeah, I want my yearly goal to be 100 grand, just as an example. Well, 100 grand in your mind feels like it's a long ways away. But if you actually broke that down into what would that mean I need to do on a monthly basis? What would I mean? What would it mean to do that on a weekly basis and then a daily basis? It actually becomes less daunting.
Right. It's a short-term goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so it's basically focused on the short term of what you're doing, execute well, right? And then completely, grinding. It's like, if you have a goal, obviously you want to exceed it. So what we would do is we would set goals, but not be like, oh yeah, I want to make $17 million. Everybody wants to make $17 million, but it isn't really feasible.
Right.
So the whole aspect that I would tell people, that are trading, is set a feasible and reasonable goal given what you have and what you would like to attain. If you have $5,000 and you want to, double that, would you consider that really solid? I mean, most people would. That's 100% on the year. Then that's the grind. It really just comes down to what it is that you have, time and energy to focus into the markets to actually be able to attain. That all kind of comes into your goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was a full-time trader trading these commodities, and so I would basically set my goals, and then I would try to, adhere to them. So like I would go through, every single day, every single week, I would keep track of my performance, see how I did on a day, and a lot of what we were doing, because we were trading commodities, we had to be net, we had to, the term was called flat, right? Flat just basically means that I have no position at the end of the day. It means all of the buys or sells that I had over the course of the day, and that's to 0. I don't have a position at the end of the day. So I was a glorified day trader.
Correct.
Right? And so, I would set goals. And oftentimes, those goals would actually get bigger and bigger. Right? My initial goals were very small in relation to what they were when I actually made it, even further into my career, right? So, as an example, if I was just say, plain and simple is, if I wanted to make 10 grand a month, right? I would break it down because there was usually about 20 to 21 trading days, in that month.
Yeah.
So that would basically mean that I needed to make $500 roughly a day in order to get
Which
to
all
my
of a
goal.
sudden doesn't sound so extreme.
And it's not extreme.
Right.
And so, ultimately what I would do is I made a plan and I was disciplined to it. And there's, trading the OTC markets is not anything different than that. Like, as long as you understand that they call it trading for a reason.
Right.
Okay, like it's if you're in OTCs, you know the word investing is it doesn't really go along very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't really served a lot of people very well. Outside of the ones that hit very very big home runs.
It's just like getting hit in the the jackpot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
100%.
Yeah.
But outside of that, if you're focusing and you are looking at your like what you're doing on a daily basis, set your goal, make it feasible for you to reach, and then if you attain it, be happy. Because here's the thing, like and this is what you learn as a trader. If you set a goal that's too high and you don't reach it, but you still made a lot of money. Let's say I'd say, I want to make 10 grand a day. Well, and I make 3 grand a day. Am I disappointed?
Probably not.
Well, I mean,
in a way,
yeah,
but,
because
but you're still making money.
You're still
It's
making
better.
money.
It's better than losing 3 grand
Yes,
a day. Yeah.
exactly. But the whole aspect of it is that's why they always say make an attainable goal. Because if you reach that goal and you exceed it, then you actually feel good about what you're doing on a daily basis. And truthfully, I mean, that's the whole aspect. You're battling your own psychology. There's a lot of us that will say, I made 5, but it should have been 1,000. $500, it should have been 1,000. Made 1,000, should have been 2.
Hindsight is 20/20, right?
Made 2, should have been 4.
Yeah.
Right? And the whole aspect of what I would tell you is that, as a trader, you have to understand, you have your own little personal demons that live within you that will tell you, that was good enough or it wasn't good enough. And so the whole thought process of what it is and what it means, to be a trader is to be disciplined. Okay. I can't impart that more on any person that wants to be a trader. Discipline is the key to you being successful. If you do not have discipline, then get ready for a world of a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, because you will go through and if you don't have a specific goal in mind, you might be up a lot of money and you lose it all. And then you say, well, I should have stopped trading. I should have walked away.
I overtraded.
I overtraded, or I undertraded, or I didn't reach my goal. So again, set a goal that makes you happy, that you identify with, that makes you feel like you accomplished something. Because accomplishing
and that's
something,
attainable at the same
yes.
time. Yeah.
Accomplishing something is literally what trading is all about. Be happy about what you're doing. Okay, there are a lot of people that are very, very miserable in trading. Okay, the way that you get around that is by doing what I'm telling you, which is to set a proper goal for yourself. Right, like a lot of people that I've talked to in this, they're like, $100, $200 a day, because that's what I would be making at another job, right?
Correct.
And that's still a reasonable living wage that you can do, or a supplemental wage. And to be honest with you, you can make $100, $200, $300
Easily, very easily.
You just have to be very disciplined, find your right spots, pick and choose, whatever it is. You get in there, you hit it, boom. Okay, ding, 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 ding. Light bulb is going off. Now you might say to yourself, I made my goal. Now I got to be very selective on my next stuff, or walk away. We used to joke, go to the golf course. Go do something that you love.
Yeah.
Why? Because you earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it. You earned your paycheck.
And sometimes
for the
you need
day.
you need to step away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's all part of like being happy in what it is that you do. Okay? Like a problem with the trader sometimes is when is enough, right? Like and you always, we used to always say, I pressed it too hard. Went too far. Right? Like went too long into the trade, and then I had 3 that were really good, and I was off to a massive start, and then I lost it all. And that's the worst thing that you deal with as a trader. So I can't impart it on you guys enough. It's about being disciplined. It's about setting goals. It's about doing things the right way. Okay? You are not going to make $100,000 in one shot. Okay? If that's your goal, that's great. I love it. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to make $100,000 in one day. And to think that it actually will happen, it's not going to happen. What will happen is if you're a good enough trader, and you are a good trader, right? You can make $100,000 over the course of a year because you broke it down to what it needed to be on a daily basis and you executed to it. It's the exact same way as a salesperson is trying to wrangle up sales. It's the exact same way that somebody that is, like on commission, they're trying to basically forecast their earnings, all those different types of things. It's the exact same thing. Trade it the exact same way. If you want to become a professional trader, that's what you need to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I agree with you 100% because I tell my supporters all the time that you're not going to make $1 million overnight. So you got to get that shit out of your head because that's what they'll push into your face. They'll tell you, oh, the pumpers, the people that are the powers that be, the people that are selling when they're buying, basically the new traders, is they're going to tell you that it's the next big thing, it's the next Amazon, it's the next Pure One Imports, it's the next Monster Energy, it's going to make you a billionaire overnight.
Here's the thing. Good for those guys for saying, oh, it's going to be amazing, but here's the thing. As a trader, who cares?
Exactly.
The bottom line is all you care about is what you made on the trade.
Correct.
Okay?
Because that's all that matters realistically. That's
know,
all that means anything.
Exactly. We just always say that you have to have an elephant's memory when you trade. Because the thing was we always said, like, if you looked at the ifs and buts, or if or the woulda, coulda, shouldas, like, what's that add up to? It adds up to absolutely nothing. It didn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Okay? So we used to always say, what's the goal? Make money. Make money every day. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Be happy. If you make money every day, be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be happy because that was actually the goal.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I was going to make $1 million in one day. Nobody in their right mind, unless they're throwing around a massive amount of capital, is going to make $1 million in a day. And it just doesn't happen. So you just have to be disciplined to what it is that you want to do, what you need to attain. You need to set out goals. I also recommend that you write down, things that you maybe have a tendency to have issues with.
Yeah.
Right? Like what I used to always say, like on my worst days, right? Don't let those go in vain. What did you do wrong on that day? Write it down. Hey, maybe you got a little bit too loose. Maybe you just were like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm up 4 subs, but I want to be up, 10.
Yeah.
Or like this is moving along. It's going to be up a ton. I'm just going to keep it all. And
It's greed,
really,
hope.
Yes.
Fear,
And
all
pride.
the, yeah.
So I love that you just brought that up. So the biggest key, all right, like for a trader, that you have to navigate, there's 4 different things. It's greed, and it is hope, it's pride, and it's fear. Okay? Greed and fear are the 2 polar opposites of one another, right?
Yeah.
But they are the things that motivate you the most. If you get into a spot where you are too greedy, you will be inactive because of that. If you are in a spot that you are fearful, you can actually be inactive, or you can be very active but reactive in an aspect that is not healthy for you.
Yeah.
Okay? If you are in a world where you are experiencing fear, things went wrong. You did not execute to plan. Never, ever, ever let fear guide you. Okay? Never, ever, ever let greed guide you. The whole aspect...
Because like you said, it will make you sit on your hands.
Yeah.
Even when you should be pressing buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And so, like, the aspect of the next 2 that comes in, so like underneath greed, you have pride, okay? Pride is this thing that gets into your head that's like, yeah, I'm the guy.
I got it all figured out.
Look at that. This is up huge, right? Like, I'm up 10, 15 subs, pride, right? Pride and greed, very, very
Hand in hand.
similar, man.
Hand in
They
hand.
hold hand in
And
hand.
hope and fear.
And they're like, oh my God. But here's the thing. That's the whole aspect of what you have to understand. Because that can change, okay, to hope and fear. Greed and pride can change into hope and fear very, very, very quickly. Okay, and if it's a chain reaction, it goes from greed to pride to hope. Oh my God, it went against me.
To fear.
To fear. Okay, it's
a
all
chain reaction.
It's
Been there,
chain.
done that.
Yes.
Been there, done that.
And that is the trader mentality. So the more that you understand that, the more that you will actually become a better trader.
Correct.
The more that you will actually live better in terms of how you interact in life. Because honestly, if you can understand that, hey, look, I have a goal and I have to navigate these 4 complex human emotions that I will experience while I'm trading, it's very simple when you sit there and say, look, what's my goal? Oh, sweet. I'm up 3 or 4 subs, right? On the day, did you make a goal? Yes. Okay. At that point in time, you can choose to sell. And a lot of times, people are like, oh, but I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up. The problem is like this. It's if you are inactive in that situation, you did something wrong.
Yes.
You don't have to sell at all. You don't have to sell at all.
Trade a core.
But trade your core out.
Trade your core
Trade
out.
your core out.
Yeah.
Get some money in your pocket. Okay?
Yes.
Take
Bank
some money
something.
off the table.
Yeah.
Scale. Okay? Because then, if it goes down and you sold some, you still rewarded yourself. Not as much as you probably could have, but you don't have a magic crystal ball. If it goes up, you still reward yourself.
You keep selling.
Because you made a little bit more, and that's where the risk was. But
Right.
to do nothing is the biggest problem that most traders experience. Why? Because they're tossed into that 4 category: greed, pride, hope, fear. Okay? Write those down. Internalize them. Understand that that is essentially your moral compass as a trader.
Yes.
If you can navigate those, you will become a successful trader because you will be about a system. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, that all ties into having reasonable goals.
And where did that bring you? Once you've harnessed that, you had gotten out of college, you had done the financial, you were basically a financial advisor. Not an advisor. You were actually a trader. You were a professional trader.
Yeah.
But
So
where did that guide you to your next point? Because did you not did you?
yeah. So I did my 4 years as a professional trader out in Chicago trading. I got to a point that I was on average 1% volume every single month of the commodity that I traded. Which is actually quite substantial for the commodity that I traded. And a lot of it was, I wouldn't have been able to do it if I wasn't working hard. Okay, like a lot of people think trading's about dabbling and, speculation, and to be honest with you guys, like, look, you can get by, maybe get lucky if you're just dabbling or whatever, but a lot of this stuff, you have to apply yourself, okay? If you want to be good at trading, you have to apply yourself.
I tell them that all the time.
If you don't submerge yourself into understanding, like what's the stock doing, what's the heartbeat, where is it at, what's the company do, like in OTC markets, you don't necessarily have to bog yourself down into like what's the company do, especially if you're just trading it. Sometimes that's better for you. You don't need to marry the story.
You don't want to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. You just need to get in and out.
But you need to know about upcoming catalysts. You need to know about the toxic nodes. You need to know just enough.
Yes. You need to know just enough to be dangerous or to understand what the threats are to your position.
Yes.
What can actually end up taking you out of the markets.
Yes.
Or really...
Whether that be a reverse split or heavy dilution.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So understanding all of those different things, putting them all together. I did that in Chicago for 4 years, and then I moved back to Denver, and I built out a professional trading firm where I train guys to essentially trade, and a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about right now to everybody here is the exact same thing that I would tell my traders.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is I know it it's what leads to success because I've lived it. Like I've implemented these rules, I've applied these rules to myself. If I made a misstep, I knew exactly how I made that misstep. I knew that
It was calculated.
It was calculated because a lot of it is, like I said, it comes back to the 4, right?
Yeah.
You get too greedy, that's your first problem. If you have too much pride about yourself, nobody should take themselves seriously in trading. It's just about meeting a goal. That's where your energy should be.
Yeah.
If you allow hope to get into a situation, oh my God,
Hopium.
I hope this goes back to my break-even point.
Meanwhile, it's 9 months later, and you're
I
down
hope.
60%.
Oh my God! Please, God!
Isn't
This
that
one
everybody?
time, just this one time. If it comes back, God, I swear I'll never ever do this again.
Please,
I
God.
swear to God, And then you know what? Again, right into fear. And if you find yourself in fear, then you did it all wrong.
Yeah. That's the epitome of the market.
It is,
Yeah.
because you went to the polar opposite. And now you're at the mercy of the markets. Remember, you are the person who's trading the market. The market is not trading you.
Correct.
If you allow the market to trade you, then it will dictate how you end up doing.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have emotions, but you do.
Yeah.
So you better learn how to control them. Because if you
100%.
don't, the market will control you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Market doesn't care that
They
you
don't.
lost money.
No.
It doesn't care. And if you could shout at your screen, the market doesn't get hurt. It doesn't care. The guys that are trading against you, they don't care. They don't care that your money's gone and that they took you out.
But because they have money in the bank.
Yes. And so the whole aspect of what you need to do, if you want to be a successful trader, is you need to be, the person who is not all or nothing. That's how you become a successful trader. You can't be all or nothing. You can't be like, I'm gonna buy all of this and take it for, the peak to the valley, or the valley to the peak.
Yeah.
You
got to get the in between.
You got to get the in between.
I know.
And then you have to have an elephant's memory, because the thing is, oh man, that stock's moving up, and now I sold too early, and now I want to chase it. Nope. You know what? Here's the thing: you made money. Nobody ever went broke taking a profit. Okay, always remember that. Nobody ever went broke taking a profit. Yeah,
100%.
you could have made more money, but it also could have turned on you on a dime and went back down. There's all sorts of little scenarios that happen, but as a trader, again, it just comes back to what I was saying earlier, which is just make your goal.
Yeah. That's important. And like what you're saying with the coulda, woulda, shoulda. There's plenty of women that I walk by on the street that if I just would have said, hey, how you doing? They probably would have slept with me. But guess what? They're already gone. You know what I mean? So you just got to let that shit go. That's why the opportunities that present themselves in the market, if you don't make them, you can't chase them. You have to realize that opportunity's gone, and you have to just let it go.
Yeah.